Hello, everybody out there on YouTube. My name is Forever King 116, and I'm here today to talk to you about the Smallville episode Scion. They did their motherfucking job with this one. I'm excited about it. I'm also excited about the ending. I know you guys are excited about the ending too. Man, that was a good episode. There's certain things I don't understand, but let's get into this. Number one, let me start with the things I didn't like. I kind of didn't like the whole Lex and Clark combined clone. I don't like that. I didn't really like that because to me it doesn't make sense. But they might be able to use this now. I don't know where they're going with this, but hopefully it's gonna go in the right direction. The Tess brings the Lex clone to Clark so Clark can teach him and be his mentor and somebody that he can look up to. And I guess these people think like you don't know who the fuck you dealing with. This is Lex Luthor. Supposedly he lost his memory. Supposedly. And I don't understand, like, either way, that kid is destined to be Clark's enemy. No matter what they do, no matter how much they try to change it, that kid is destined to be Clark's enemy. He is Lex, and he got half the powers from Clark. Now, I don't know how they're gonna work this around to serve, Lex coming back, but if this is the beginning of how Clark and Lex, fight at the end, because like I told you in a couple of videos ago, that I'm thinking that they're gonna use the Lex clone, and Darkseid's gonna like use the Lex clone as his vessel to fight Clark, because Lex ultimately hates Clark, and Lex is one of the darkest people in Smallville, so I figured they're gonna use that towards the end. That would be a nice thing to see. With the whole Clark and Lex clone thing, he got Clark's powers. He got all of Clark's powers. I don't know if he could fly. You know what I was thinking also when I was watching this? Is that if the Lex clone flies before Clark, Clark is literally the worst Superman ever created. You just gotta sit there and be like, listen, if Lex can sit there and fly before you can, and you had your powers longer than him, definitely you're the worst Superman ever put together. So like you just are. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's embarrassing that you don't know how to fly yet. But if a kid can fly before you can, you might as well just hang up your cape and call him Superman. Like, Clark enrolled the Lex clone into Smallville, the Smallville high school. So I guess Clark is trying to let him have the same life Clark had when he was a kid, and try to let him experience the things he went through in Smallville in high school. So he's trying to transition him into to being him. You know what I'm saying? Now, Tess is running around, and to me personally, I feel like the Lex clone is not Clark's responsibility. She tried to throw it on Clark, like, yeah, listen, like it's their problem. No, it's your problem, Tess, not Clark's. Clark ain't got nothing to do with that clone unless that clone has something to do. Unless that clone is gonna, do something evil to him. You know what I'm saying? Like, Me personally, I just feel like that had nothing to do with Clark, and you threw it on Clark and Lois like it was their problem. You know what I'm saying? Uh, Oliver and Chloe are not in this episode. Thank God, because I was tired of seeing them. They're in Star City now, and Clark and this clone, Clark is starting the lies again. You know what I'm saying? Trying to, I don't understand. Clark is just too gullible for me. Like, you see good in everybody, which is cool, but you need to start waking up. Like, Lex is not gonna change. Like, no matter what form he's in, Lex is always gonna be Lex. The second he put on that ring, you seen the true Lex. You seen what was deep in him. And that kid has a darkness in him. That you can't separate the two. That is Lex. That's it. You can't do shit about it. And Clark is sitting there trying to giving everybody the stupid face, like, we could try to help him out, and he's so proud of this shit. But I was like, nigga, it's just not gonna work. He's Lex. That's it. And he always do that to himself. Always get his hopes up about Lex, and then fucking get shot down later on. Also, like, I don't know what the fuck is wrong with Lionel. Because, number one, I know he knows that Lex killed him. Killed the original Lionel. So, if you know Lex killed the original Lionel, it was crazy how he was like, yeah, I know that's what makes him a true Luthor. So, you saying killing you made Lex the true Luthor. I was like, that's stupid. That sounds stupid. That sounds like the dumbest thing ever, son. You want Lex to kill you again? Like, I was thinking, like, why the fuck would you want your son to kill you? You know what I'm saying? And that made him a true Luthor to kill you? That's stupid. That makes no sense. You know what I'm saying? But Lionel done lost his mind. He done went ape shit by himself somewhere. Like, and then he got kicked out of his own building by his daughter. Like, now you ain't got no money. Now you a hobo. Now you a fucking hobo. Now you ain't got no money. You ain't got nothing in your account. Because they already took Luthor Corp from you. And Clark is so irresponsible. Like, how did they said that Lex got some of Clark's blood from, whatchamacallit. He got it from the time he was Lex got Clark's blood from the doctor that he was dating back in, like, season, I would say season 3. Season 3, that doctor that Lex was dating, I think season 3 or no, it was season 3, because Clark went to Metropolis and he was with the Red Kryptonite. So it was season 2 going into season 3, he was dating that doctor. So Lex got that blood, got some of Clark's blood from it. And I was like, why is Clark so irresponsible? Like, he should have just, like, destroyed all kind of evidence of Clark's blood. But Clark, he just go around doing the things he do and don't pay attention to a lot of shit. And he let that slip through his fingers. So now, the Lex clone running around with his powers. And I was so mad at Clark a little bit, because he got thrown by the Lex clone. How you get thrown by the Lex clone and you're Superman? You're the Man of Steel. You learned your fighting moves from the Fortress. So why the fuck are you getting beat up by a kid that just had his powers for, like, what, a week? Come on. Come on, Clark. Wake the fuck up, Clark. You need to wake up, man. Like, for real. Like, that shit was embarrassing. I was like, he just did not get thrown by the Lex clone. Did you just get thrown by a clone, nigga? Fuck out of here, Clark. Fuck out of here. You need to go and do better right now. And then, when the Lex clone backhanded him, I was like, you're not Superman. You are not Superman. Don't give me that shit. Don't even try to front like you are, because you just ain't. You can't be. Because Superman would never get backhanded like that, son. He got backhand. Like, I felt like the Lex clone was the pimp, and he was one of his girls. Like Lex clone was the pimp, and Clark was one of the girls on the strip waiting, and he didn't have his money for him. You know, like it was just crazy to me how he got slapped like that. And then like towards the end of this episode, I was just like, yeah, it was a good episode. I was like, after Clark got, he was talking to Lois or whatever, and I was like, okay, this is an okay episode. It was all right. And then I was like, yeah, this is all right. It was an okay episode. I kind of liked it. You know what I'm saying? All right, how? And then when Lionel was in the graveyard, the cemetery with Lex's tombstone, and I guess the other tombstones from the Luthor family, I was just like, that is such a great, like like the way the place that they're at, that's a great place to like that was such a great place that they took that they was filming at. It looked so dark and evil. Look, it was an evil setting. I like that. And then I was like, all you hear is the little like voices in the background while he's saying he'll do anything to bring his son back. Then you see the smoke, and I'm thinking, me personally, I was thinking that the Darkseid was gonna take his evil energy and drive it into the ground and resurrect Lex, and you'll see Lex's hand come out through the grave or some shit. You know what I'm saying? I was thinking that. I was not expecting Darkseid to just show up and be all like in Lionel's face like that. I was like, you know what would make this part great? Is if he would have said, and my Omega beams will turn you to ashes. If he would have said, my Omega beams will turn you to ashes, I would have started, I would have just went ballistic, because that shit, like, I like when Darkseid started talking about his Omega beams. You see how I think his eyes were purple, like a purplish darkish color, but it looked hot. Like whatever they doing with Darkseid, they need to continue doing that same shit. You know what I'm saying? I would love to see Clark and Darkseid get into a fight. No Lex, no nothing, just him and Darkseid get down and dirty and fight. But when he was standing there, I was like, oh man, this is one of the good episodes. This is one of the good episodes, son. Oh man, I was just grinning. I was like, look at Darkseid. Oh man, that nigga Darkseid is the man, son. Like, you can't fuck with him. When he started talking about his Omega beams, that's it. You know what I'm saying? He be beasted. Oh man, I really enjoyed this episode. I know everybody else did too. Darkseid was here. We got to see Clark and the clone bond. And another funny part with the heat vision, that shit was hilarious, because I remember when Clark was in class, like when he was back in high school in Smallville, and he was in class and he was just sitting there. I remember that time that that teacher that he was just like focused on her, seeing all her boobs and all that, and the sweat, and it just, his heat vision just started going, son. That nigga was horny, son. That shit reminded me so much like that, because it felt like just a remake of what they already did, but it was good, because to see Lex get so hype over Lois like that, I was like, and then on top of that, I was like, yeah, Lex is always fiending after Clark's girls. Like, why he do that? Why he always fiending after some other nigga girls, son? But that was the good things. The heat vision thing, the Darkseid thing, amazing. Like, they need to continue doing what they doing about that Darkseid shit. I enjoyed it. It was crazy. I know you guys enjoyed it. Man, I just wanted, it would have been great if he would have just said, my Omega beams will turn you to ashes. And I would have just started dying, and I'd have been laughing, and I'd have been like, yo, you heard what Darkseid said? But, oh man, I hope y'all enjoy this review. Please comment. Let me know how y'all felt about the review. I can't wait until next week because is it next week? I think scheduled Smallville. I think it's scheduled for a different day. I don't think it's coming on next week, but I'll check. But yeah, I'll see you the next time Smallville's back on. I'll probably make a couple of videos in between before Smallville get here. Probably talk to you about, past Smallville episodes and tell you what they should do better in the episodes. But, I'll see y'all next week. Hope you enjoy. See you later. Peace.